Hi everyone, today we will analyze the market dynamic of institutional goods in Malaysia using the fundamental theory of demand and supply. While market equilibrium is theoretically set at a specific price P0 and quantity Q0, real world markets are constantly shaped by exogenous shocks that create new equilibrium levels. Our group will examine three critical scenarios. First, chicken. The surge in demand during the Chinese New Year festive season. Second, fish. Supply chain disruption caused by seasonal flooding in Terengganu. Third, vegetable. The impact of rising input costs such as fertilizer and food on supply. Beyond graphical sheet, we will evaluate the business implication, identifying the risks and opportunities emerging from these market volatilities. I will pass the floor to Lee Hui to discuss our first scenario.
Hello, hi, my name is Lee Hui. I'm from DPB10053, so I'm the first presenter for this question. So in this scenario, floods and unpredictable weather in Terengganu disrupt fishing activity. As a result, the quantity of fish caught decreases and the fish supply in the market decreases. As we can see from the diagram, the original equilibrium happens at E0, where the demand curve D0, T0 intersects with the supply curve S0, S0. The equilibrium price is P0 and the equilibrium quantity is Q0. Due to the floods, fewer fish are supplied to the market. Therefore, the supply curve shifts to the left from S0, S0 to S1, S1, while demand remains unchanged. As a result, a new equilibrium is formed at E1. The equilibrium price increases from P0 to P1, while the equilibrium quantity decreases from Q0 to Q1. This shows that a decrease in supply will lead to a higher price and lower quantity in the fish market. So hi, it's me again. So this question is asking about business risk arising from the seasonal supply disruption. So I will explain my answer for this question. So the one business risk arising from seasonal supply disruption is a decline in profit. Heavy rain and floods reduce fishing activities, which decreases the quantity of fish caught. As a result, the supply of fish in the market decreases. When supply decreases, the price of fish increases due to the shortage in the market. However, the quantity of fish available for sale becomes lower. Even though the price increases, the sales volume decreases. Therefore, the higher price may not fully compensate for the reduction in quantity. So, as a result, fish trader may experience lower total revenue and profit.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Emilia from DPM1A. So I will discuss about question B1 and B2. Okay, firstly, the vegetable market is at the original equilibrium point E0 with the supply curve S0 intersect with the demand curve D0. At this point, the equilibrium price is P0 and the equilibrium quantity is Q0. However, the price of several inputs increase, such as fuel costs, supplier costs, labor costs, and fertilizer costs. These increases raise the production cost for vegetable sellers. When production costs increase, producers become less willing and less able to supply vegetables at each price level. Therefore, the supply curve shifts to the left from S0 to S1, while the demand curve remains unchanged at T0 because the change only affects the producers. As a result, a new equilibrium is formed at point E1. the equilibrium price increases from P0 to P1 while the equilibrium quantity decreases from Q0 to Q1. This shows that the increase in input prices leads to higher production costs, which reduce supply and results in a higher equilibrium price in the vegetable market. Okay, so we go to question B2. Describe whether you will absorb the cost of pricing to customers. So as a vegetable seller, I decide to pass part of the increased cost to customer by increasing the selling price of vegetables. This is because higher input price such as fuel, labor, and fertilizer increase the production cost of vegetables. If the seller continues selling at the same price, the profit margin will decrease. In addition, vegetables are essential goods with relatively inelastic demand, so consumers are likely to continue purchasing them even when the price increases. Therefore, passing part of the cost to customers help the seller maintain profitability and continue operating in the market.
Okay, so next we will look at what happens to the market for chicken during the Chinese New Year. Okay, so initially the market is at equilibrium point E0, where the demand and supply are equal at price P0 and quantity Q0. However, during the Chinese New Year, many families prepare festive meals, so the demand for chicken increased significantly. This caused the demand curve to shift to the right from D0 to D1, while the supply remains the same. As a result, the market moved to the new equilibrium point E1. At this equilibrium, the price increased from P0 to P1 and the quantity increased from Q0 to Q1. This shows that the demands increase more than supply. Both price and quantity in the market will rise. Okay, so from the increase in demand, businesses can gain several opportunities. One important opportunity is expanding sales during the festive season. When demand for chicken increases, businesses can sell more products and generate higher revenue. Entrepreneurs may also increase their supply or extend their operating hours to meet the higher demand. In addition, businesses can create festive promotion or special package to attract more customers. Because of this higher demand, firms can have a chance to maximize their profit during the festive season.
In conclusion, market dynamics are inherently volatile, whether driven by supply side shocks like flooding in the fish market, rising input costs in vegetable production, or seasonal demand surge for chicken. These factors collectively shape the market equilibrium. To navigate this fluctuation, businesses must proactively adapt their pricing and production strategies. This resilience is essential to mitigate loss and sustain long-term profitability in an ever-changing economic landscape. Thank you.